Listen, Meghan calls. Bill, for archetypes to resonate, I need a full wellness studio, crystal walls, aromatherapy on demand, no harsh lights. It kills my energy. I'm like, it's a podcast, not a spa. She insists. We build it. 3 episodes. Then zilch. Freaking grifters, man. Exhaust.
Bill Simmons has dropped a shocking verbal bomb that few in the entertainment world expected, though many may have been thinking it all along. Publicly calling Prince Harry and Meghan Markle grifters was far more than a throwaway line on a podcast. It was a pointed accusation from a Spotify heavyweight who was directly involved in their failed multi-million-dollar deal. What makes the claim even more explosive is that Simmons isn't speaking from the sidelines. He is reportedly alleging that Meghan left behind a significant unpaid debt after their collaboration collapsed, along with making demands so excessive that they stunned those involved, adding a dramatic new layer to an already controversial fallout. The situation reportedly went even further, with a custom-built studio created solely for her, draining both resources and patience from those involved. This was not just idle industry gossip or routine royal family shade. Insiders who watched the deal fall apart point to timelines that revealed glaring inefficiencies and financial details that raised serious red flags. As the layers are peeled back, a question began circulating quietly throughout Hollywood. Were Harry and Meghan ever truly committed to creating meaningful content? Or was this shaping up to be the biggest con in podcast history? To understand how it reached this point, it's necessary to rewind, because the truth has been simmering beneath glossy press releases for years. The deal was marketed as a slate of groundbreaking podcasts meant to amplify diverse voices, share intimate stories, and reflect Harry and Meghan's stated mission of compassion and change. Meghan's flagship series, Archetypes, debuted in 2022 with major celebrity guests, such as Serena Williams and Mariah Carey, focusing on stereotypes faced by women, and initially soared to the top of the charts, fueling speculation that the Sussexes were on their way to becoming media power players. However, behind the early hype, problems were quickly emerging. Sources close to the agreement later claimed expectations fell dramatically short, with only 12 episodes produced over 2.5 years, plus a single holiday special. For a deal reportedly worth $20 million, the output felt painfully thin, prompting critics to argue it wasn't mere underperformance, but a calculated underdelivery that left Spotify absorbing the losses. When the partnership officially ended in June 2023, the polished image cracked. Bill Simmons, Spotify's head of podcast innovation and monetization, vented his frustration on the Bill Simmons podcast, bluntly calling the pair grifters, and lamenting that he hadn't been part of the exit negotiations. His comments hinted at deeper personal frustration, including a Zoom call with Prince Harry, where ideas were floated but never solidified, suggesting this dysfunction was not an isolated incident, but part of a broader pattern. The frustration ran deeper than harsh words, fueled by demands that reportedly drove up costs without producing meaningful results. Meghan was said to have pushed for top-tier production standards, including a custom studio setup that allegedly strained both budgets and teams. Whether this was entitlement or a calculated strategy remains debated, but a clear pattern began to form. A deal powered by star appeal that ultimately delivered more complications than successes. From there, 2 competing narratives emerged about what truly happened behind closed doors. On one side, Harry and Meghan's camp framed the split as amicable and inevitable, releasing a joint statement with Spotify expressing pride in what they had achieved and optimism for future projects. On the other, Spotify insiders Bill Simmons, chief among them, described a sense of betrayal, alleging that the Sussexes took the money and exited while leaving unfinished business and unresolved financial obligations. This raises a critical question. Did they technically fulfill their contractual duties while falling short of expectations? Or does the evidence suggest they leveraged their fame for gain while shortchanging the platform? The contrast becomes sharper when recalling the initial fanfare. The 2020 announcement positioned Archwell Audio as a mission-driven force for good, with promises to elevate diverse voices and perspectives, while Spotify viewed the royal cachet as a powerful draw for subscribers. Yet reality soon intruded. Archetypes ended after just 1 season, with no follow-up series from Harry despite early hints, and sources speaking to outlets like the Wall Street Journal claimed Spotify grew increasingly impatient with the slow pace. Ideas stalled, execution lagged, and frequent staff turnover compounded the problems. Archwell president Mandana Dayani departed amid the turmoil, followed by other key executives, prompting critics to argue that instability stemmed from unrealistic expectations and demands for A-list treatment without the corresponding grind. The core of the controversy was the deal's financial structure. Payments were reportedly tied to milestones, meaning the full $20 million was never paid up front. Insiders claim the Sussexes received only a portion, estimates ranging between $10 million and $15 million, while additional content was required to unlock the remainder. When the partnership collapsed, Spotify was allegedly left absorbing significant costs with little to show for the investment. The fallout reportedly extended beyond unmet content expectations to Spotify's broader investments in promotion, staffing, and infrastructure. Simmons' grifters jab cut straight to the point, implying that Harry and Meghan may have profited without delivering fully on their end. Whispers from production insiders added fuel to the fire, suggesting Meghan pushed for a custom recording studio outfitted with high-end technology and design modifications, which reportedly drove up costs and delayed launches. Was this a necessary move for quality, or a diva-driven demand that drained resources? The analogy isn't perfect, but it's like promising a full symphony and only delivering a solo while charging for the orchestra. Scrutiny of the timeline intensified the doubts. From signing the deal in December 2020 to the first episode release in August 2022, nearly 2 years elapsed with minimal output. For a platform riding the podcast boom, that pace wasn't innovation, it was alleged stalling. Bill Simmons added more context on his own podcast, recounting a Zoom call with Harry meant to brainstorm ideas. He teased, "I have got to get drunk one night and tell the story. It's one of my best stories," hinting that the interaction was so perplexing it fueled his growing frustration and disdain. "Let's map it," he said, underscoring the disconnect between expectations and reality. Simply put, after the deal, expectations were high for multiple series, maybe Harry sharing insights on mental health or Meghan exploring deeper topics. But instead, only Archetypes was released, and it barely made a ripple. Reports from Variety suggest Spotify pushed for wider distribution to recoup their investment, but the Sussexes resisted, focusing on other opportunities. This mismatch allegedly left real financial gaps, with sources claiming Meghan's team owed residuals or reimbursements for unfulfilled contract clauses, leaving Simmons personally frustrated at the wasted effort. The studio demands added fuel to the fire. Allegedly, building a custom setup in Montecito or LA strained engineers and budgets, turning what should have been a straightforward podcast into a production headache. Compared to Spotify hits like Joe Rogan's show, which churned out episodes relentlessly and built media empires, the Sussexes produced almost nothing. After Archetypes, there was radio silence, no creative bursts, just amended plans, excuses citing COVID, royal deaths, or economic woes, according to anonymous leaks. To insiders, this didn't look like standard delays, it appeared to signal avoidance, raising serious questions about intent. If the slow timelines already raised eyebrows, Meghan's alleged demands pushed frustration into the red zone, explaining why Bill Simmons didn't hesitate to label Harry and Meghan grifters. Bill Simmons' visible frustration on his podcast points to a string of behind-the-scenes battles that reportedly tested everyone's patience. Multiple production insiders describe Meghan as especially insistent on premium, high-end perks that far exceeded standard podcast setups. The most notable example was her push for a custom-built recording studio, a state-of-the-art space featuring top-tier acoustic treatments, professional lighting, specialized design consultations, and every luxury expected from a major celebrity production. This wasn't just a simple home studio with a good microphone. According to insiders, it required hiring contractors, navigating permits, sourcing elite equipment, and pouring significant resources into perfection, all while Spotify teams, already stretched thin, absorbed much of the escalating cost. These demands didn't come in isolation. Reports suggest Meghan's team frequently vetoed ideas that didn't perfectly match their vision, requested last-minute script or editing changes, and demanded lavish promotional support that inflated budgets without producing proportional results. The infamous Zoom call Simmons referenced, intended to brainstorm podcast concepts with Harry, allegedly underscored the disconnect. Ideas were floated, but nothing gained traction, leaving Spotify staff feeling like they were chasing moving targets. As one anonymous source put it, the couple wanted A-list treatment while delivering far less than expected. From day one, the Sussexes reportedly demanded A-list treatment, without the corresponding grind or flexibility that building a new media venture typically requires. Engineers and producers grew frustrated as simple recording sessions ballooned into elaborate productions, costs spiraled, and deadlines slipped. Consider what this implies. If these demands, like the bespoke studio, were truly essential for producing quality content that fit the Sussex brand, acknowledging the full scope would undermine the narrative of smooth collaboration. Critics argue that the secrecy surrounding these realities only fueled suspicion. The strain wasn't just abstract, it translated into real financial and logistical burdens for Spotify, as resources were diverted to accommodate requests that appeared to prioritize luxury over efficiency. In an industry where rapid iteration and cost control define success, think Joe Rogan churning out episodes relentlessly, the Sussex approach reportedly felt like the opposite. High maintenance, low output, leaving partners drained and questioning the partnership's value. When Bill Simmons finally called them the freaking grifters on his podcast, it wasn't just a personal outburst. It was the culmination of months of mounting irritation over demands that many felt had crossed from ambitious into unreasonable. Simmons' public frustration was amplified by a chorus of insiders. Anonymous sources and former collaborators confirmed the chaos behind the scenes. Reports from the Wall Street Journal and other outlets highlighted Spotify executives' high-level exasperation over the slow pace of production, noting that Archwell Audio struggled to deliver content despite substantial resources and support. Simmons even teased a legendary Zoom call with Harry that left him baffled, a story he promised to share someday over drinks, underscoring how deep the disconnect had grown. The multi-million-dollar promise began to unravel further as Archwell experienced dramatic employee turnover. Key figures departed in waves, including Mandana Dioni, Archwell's president, who stepped down abruptly in late 2022, just before major projects were set to launch. Ben Browning, head of audio and a BAFTA winner with experience on the Netflix docuseries and Archetypes, exited in early 2023, followed by other executives in communications, scripted content, and marketing. Insiders described a revolving door driven by clashing visions. Meghan's reportedly micromanaging approach allegedly conflicted with the fast-paced demands of podcast production, leaving teams burned out and projects stalled. This instability wasn't merely logistical, it reportedly played a significant role in the underdelivery that frustrated Spotify. Simmons' public outburst opened the floodgates, sparking discussions across podcasts, Reddit threads, and leaked comments. Former staffers and industry veterans painted a consistent picture. High expectations met with minimal output. Archwell had promised multiple series, yet only Archetypes and a holiday special materialized over several years. Sources close to the deal allege that the couple pocketed significant advances, potentially in the $10 to $15 million range, tied to milestones that were never fully met, leaving Spotify shortchanged. Whispers about the custom studio, lavish production perks, and constant last-minute revisions suggest costs escalated sharply without delivering proportional results. The fallout left tangible traces. The low episode count alone tells a story, compounded by Spotify's broader podcast division layoffs, 200 jobs cut in 2023, some reportedly linked to underperforming high-profile deals like this one. Critics have noted a recurring pattern: royal-adjacent fame leveraged for lucrative contracts, followed by excuses, COVID disruptions, family tragedies, or economic headwinds, while partners absorb the shortfall. Voices from Hollywood insiders, such as United Talent Agency's Jeremy Zimmer, were blunt, noting that Meghan was not a great audio talent, reinforcing the idea that celebrity status alone doesn't guarantee results. When pointed accusations come from seasoned executives directly involved rather than tabloids, the weight is hard to ignore. The grifter label, once a shocking outburst from Bill Simmons, increasingly feels like an industry consensus. Questions remain. Why the mass exodus of staff? Why the silence on specifics? Insiders argue it stems from a fundamental mismatch between hype and execution, an approach that drained resources, strained relationships, and left lingering doubts about accountability in the Sussexes' post-royal ventures. Following the money trail makes the impact even clearer, particularly regarding the much-hyped $20 million deal. The $20 million deal wasn't a simple lump-sum payout. According to industry insiders and reports from outlets like the Wall Street Journal, the agreement was structured around strict milestones and productivity benchmarks tied to content delivery, episode counts, and overall performance. The Sussexes reportedly received an advance estimated between $10 million and $15 million upfront, or in early tranches, but the full $20 million depended on meeting those targets. With Archwell Audio delivering just one 12-episode season of Archetypes, plus a single holiday special over nearly 3 years, they allegedly fell far short. This left Spotify out of pocket, having invested heavily in promotion, staff support, and infrastructure without the expected return. The fallout wasn't abstract, it had real financial consequences. Sources suggest the couple did not qualify for the remaining payouts, meaning millions potentially remained unearned in advances or clawbacks for underdelivery. While no public lawsuit surfaced, likely due to NDAs, whispers of settlement talks and reimbursements for unused resources circulated in Hollywood. Bill Simmons, as Spotify's head of podcast innovation and monetization, reportedly felt the losses most personally. His infamous "freaking grifters" rant wasn't random, venting it stemmed from watching budgets evaporate on a project that promised star power but delivered minimal output, leaving the platform to absorb losses amid broader industry pressures. Extravagant demands allegedly added fuel to the fire. The push for a custom-built studio with premium acoustics, specialized equipment, and design overhauls reportedly cost hundreds of thousands, with Spotify covering much of it. Engineers and producers were reportedly exhausted, rerouting resources to meet these requests, only for the project to stall. Critics argue these weren't standard production costs, but unnecessary extravagances that drained resources and contributed to the feeling of being taken advantage of. Post-split, Spotify refocused on proven creators, but the episode left a lasting mark. Proof that celebrity deals can spectacularly backfire when deliverables don't match the dollars. Critics now demand full transparency. If no real debts or shortfalls existed, why the defensive silence from the Sussex camp? Admitting failures would shatter the narrative of an amicable parting, while denying them ignores documented benchmarks. Either way, the financial fallout paints a cautionary tale for celebrity-driven media ventures. It all makes perfect sense if the grift allegations hold weight. Money taken, promises unfulfilled, and partners left holding the empty bag. The stakes aren't merely corporate, they reveal how the Sussex brand allegedly operates on hype over substance, turning lucrative opportunities into cautionary tales for the industry. This isn't isolated drama, it's a ripple effect across an entire celebrity empire. Take the Spotify debacle and compare it to their Netflix ventures. What began as a glittering $100 million overall deal in 2020 had quietly shifted by late 2025 into a downgraded first-look arrangement, with no massive upfront payday announced. Insiders whisper that projects like With Love, Meghan drew mixed to poor reviews and failed to ignite significant viewership, further reducing exclusivity and potential earnings. The pattern is clear: high-profile entrances, underwhelming outputs, and partners growing weary of constant demands and delays. Spotify's abrupt end, punctuated by Bill Simmons' explosive "freaking grifters" label, didn't just burn one bridge, it amplified whispers across Hollywood that the Sussexes are difficult to work with, demanding, inconsistent, and ultimately failing to deliver the ROI their royal fame once promised. The damage goes beyond a single failed podcast. PR agencies reportedly flag them as high maintenance, turning down potential accounts, while high-paying collaborations dry up as executives fear the same exhaustion. Simmons' call-out highlighted lavish studio demands, creative clashes, and minimal tangible results. Archwell Ventures faced similar scrutiny. Staff turnover has been relentless, with key executives leaving amid cost-cutting and dissatisfaction, leaving the operation appearing unstable. Even attempts to pivot Meghan's lifestyle brand or tease new podcasts face skepticism, as every launch invites comparisons to past underdeliveries. Royal experts and Hollywood commentators warn this threatens the foundation of their post-royal narrative. They marketed independence, authenticity, and meaningful impact, but the track record shows more headlines about drama than sustained success. If the grifter label sticks, as Simmons' viral rant helped cement, it erodes credibility in an industry built on trust and results. Hollywood legitimacy isn't about titles, it's about delivery. Repeated shortfalls make future deals harder to secure, threatening the very survival of the Sussex brand. Without reliable media partnerships, their Montecito fairy tale risks being overshadowed by questions of value. Why chase privacy while courting the spotlight? Why demand premium treatment without matching output? Silence on these points only fuels critics, turning what could have been a triumphant reinvention into a cautionary tale of fame without follow-through. The empire built on the royal exit is cracking, And the Spotify fallout may have been the first major fracture, one that Hollywood won't soon forget. When timelines drag, demands exhaust, debts pile up, and alleged patterns of underdelivery persist, Simmons' call-out resonates. The grifter label sticks if silence continues, and Hollywood's fairy tale of the Sussexes risks crumbling entirely.